So yeah, so now I think um, in regards to goal, there is ultimate goal and then there is temporary goal. Then in regards to practice, then again practice in order for ultimate goal, to achieve your ultimate goal, and practice in regards to temporary goal as well. So that is there. So defining defining the different kinds of goals you have in regards to practice. Yeah, once you have the defining of the different types of goal you have in your practice, then breaking it down into the different stages. This is where the stages of practice is necessary, because the goals are different. Some can take long time to achieve, some take short time to achieve, some are momentarily achieved, some are ultimately achieved. So all kinds of different there again in regards to it, I think. So this is where the stages come into place. So the stages are there to so that you can break down, I mean, breaking down them into stages makes it easier to make it achievable. And then through the stages, then what we say, providing clear what we say, objective and outcome for each step, right? That is also a method in order to apply, so that you understand, because if you do not have the stages, if you do not have the breaking down, you know, the breaking down the means and the method for the different goals, then again there's a lot of confusion. Yeah, something is good for short term, some things are good for long term. Some things are beneficial for short term, some things are beneficial for long term. So that there is definitely in regards to application of wisdom, there's definitely being wise when you come to applying of these different what we say, objectives, right? So providing clear objective in regards to that. So that, then I think in regards to awareness, not just awareness, but in regards to when practicing, then awareness as well as patience, as well as all of the paramitas that we went through, most of them use reflection practice and feedback loops in order to keep a track of how it is going and what is happening. So within your own internal space of practice, you need to have that feedback and that loop in regards to what we say, reflective practice in regards to feedbacks in the practice of the loop, right? So whether there is benefit, whether there is not there is no benefit, whether there is more harm, whether there is, you know, whether it's neutral. So that kind of feedback helps a lot in sort of like understanding where our practice is taking us in some sense, right? And then through that, I think then the experience of progress does happen through that. And once you start reflecting, then you start to see the progress you're having. So that is there. Then I think main concept in regards to that is integration, right? So because there's so many things, then if you focus on single things to integrate into one aspect, then it gets a little bit too much, too many things to concentrate on. Let's say I tell you to practice meditate on the 10 paramitas right now, it gets very hard, because now you're thinking, okay, first one is what? First one is generosity. Okay, then I need to apply some kind of kindness, generosity, love, something like that. Then what is the second one? I think it's ethical means, right? So now, so you see your mind is going all over the place. It's not focused, it's not concentrating, it's not enjoying the what is there at the moment. So this is why the what we say, integration matters, because the integration is based on the what we say, based on the mind itself. You integrate things based on the mind. If the mind is capable of handling, then you integrate this. If it's incapable of handling, then you integrate that. So that kind of, and this all comes down into the concept of wisdom. And within that, then comes the method, thap, and the strength. The strength is, I think, in regards to limitations, in regards to uh, potential, in regards to capability. So there the strength. Yeah. Then definitely melam, which is wish, what we say, wish, right? aspirational wish. So that also takes place within the beginning, or when you first start. Uh, and then utilization of the path itself. So that would be very general integration of the whole concept in regards to how to integrate. But then, like I said, main important part of the integration uh, is understanding yourself. Understanding yourself, not in the sense that, oh yeah, I am, I'm Charok and I have a body and I'm alive and I am functioning in this way and I'm known to be doing that, and not that kind of integration, but the integration in regards to how I'm feeling, where my mind is at. Then the more chaotic is up there, the more you start to see uh, in regards to realizing the expressions. Yeah, so let's say you are in a very anxious place, right? So you feel anxious, yes, you feel anxious, your mind feels anxious, your body feels anxious, your whole presence feels anxious. But then knowing that this anxiousness is, first of all, it's just a phase. Yeah, you are not anxious for the rest of your life. It's a short term that comes, that pops up. Same thing with anger, same thing with happiness as well. It's very momentarily lived. So to apply that concept of permanence just because you feel it, that is quite destructive. This is where it tends to get worse, because you are applying the view of permanence there. Yeah, you think, oh, I have this disorder, and because I have this disorder, now now I have to live with this disorder, or this disorder is a part of me. Some people, they identify themselves as, so when they first when you first shake their hand, they say, oh, my name is so and so, and I am, I have PTSD, and I have this that, and I have it's like they are introducing themselves in through that, sort of like a identity sort of thing. But you need to know this is completely different from your identity. These are very short-term experiences that come up and that go. And this is also one reason why I said it's very natural, because it's impermanent. Cause and condition, comes, goes, comes, goes. One step of dealing with it is actually being okay with it coming and going. And like I said, the neutral state is being okay. And through that being okay, then comes development. So that is definitely there as well. So something to consider in regards to practice. The fact that it is, what we say, it is a natural process of up and downs, coming and going, that itself, you already understand the instability of it. When you understand that, oh yeah, it's unstable, that it doesn't last, then you feel better. No, when I say I have what do we say, disorder, some kind of disorder, I have some kind of mental affliction appearing, then if I keep myself in the thought that, oh, this affliction is a part of me, and this affliction is who I have to experience this pain and this if I keep continuously putting my thought into that, then you start to see that you're permanizing it. Is that a word, permanizing? Sort of like, yeah, sort of like permanizing it. The more permanizing you do with it, then it sort of becomes a very sort of like a harsh reality sort of thing. That's how we say, this is my harsh reality. But in reality, it's not there permanently, no? So you have 1 hour, max 1 hour, then after 1 hour gone. Then you're in a completely different state. Then you meet someone you like, then your distraction from that, then your mind going into something completely different. So that is there, that's the nature of it. And because that's the nature of it, you start to see that, it changes. It's not permanent. When you see that it changes and it's not permanent, that's when you realize, maybe there's a way that I can completely let go of it as well. Because it doesn't last. Even when experience is there for a moment and it goes away. So maybe I can make it go away from the root. There's a strong realization, no? Understanding. Has that realization appeared in your mind or not? That is something that you truly need to contemplate on. Most likely no. Most likely when we are angry, or when we are that, or when we are this, we never think about, oh yeah, anger, my anger was there when I saw him, but then after that I heard about about his situation and my anger disappeared. So that means it seems like, yeah, the anger is not permanent. It's not a part of me. It just appears and goes. So that's one part of realization, I think, when it comes to working with it, with any emotion. Then the second one is in nature. Like I said, in nature, right? In nature, when you talk about samsara, karma, cause and condition, then yes, cause and condition, there is cause and condition, past cause and condition, therefore the experience is there now. But does that mean the change cannot happen? No. Just like it's impermanent, therefore the cause and conditions are also impermanent, and therefore the past cause also. As long as you don't keep on feeding more and more, then it's like we said, no, like street dog. Yeah? The more you feed, the closer it's going to come. Hey, if you stop feeding, then it doesn't stop coming. That's there. No, this is about taming, I think. Taming is about ethical means in regards to applying the right method to, like I said, if you keep feeding, same thing with anger. The more reasons you feed the anger, stronger the anger. No, that's very clear. And the stronger the anger, the stronger the destructive thoughts or whatever comes. First is hitting back, second is killing, stabbing, then is killing that person, then the whole family, then the whole race, then the whole nation. And you have these kinds of drastic measures where people are actually so engrossed in that hate that they do that. They go into mass shooting, you call it mass shooting. Yeah, you go to a community where a community of people that you don't like gather, and then you go and you shoot all of them. Does the person know them from a personal level? No. But what is it that made him do this? It's that, the feeding part, the constant feeding part, that makes the aggression higher, the anger higher, and then the desire to eliminate higher as well. So one thing you have to be very careful in regards to that is the feeding part. And I think integrating it as your own identity is also feeding it. Like I said, you identify, I identify as PTSD. So once you do that identification, then you're already feeding it. It becomes a part of you. You need to learn to separate yourself from all of those. And these are momentary afflictions that do come up, but these are not you. And in that short moment, it feels so real that this, but then the moment after that, then also there, it fleets, as we say. It doesn't last. So that's also something that you need to consider in regards to truly analyzing. No? Because if you cannot see that it fleets, if you cannot see that it doesn't last, if you cannot see that it's not a part of you, then how are you going to disconnect from it? You cannot disconnect from it. As long as you're identifying yourself in that way, then it becomes a part of you. Disconnecting becomes harder. Then when you are sane, then you want to disconnect. But when you are in that state, then you feel like it's a part of you, then you are contradicting yourself. What are you saying? Are you saying yes, you are that, or are you saying no, I'm not that? What are you saying? So there is a contradiction, strong contradiction in regards to practice as well. No? So being very clear that it's not a part of you, that is important. Then comes, okay, then in that case, if that is not a part of me, then what is a part of me? This is where I talked about the innocence. This is where I talked about the what do we call fragility. fragility. Yeah, this is where I talked about the fragility. This is where I talked about the potential, the amazing potential. Now, this definitely is a part of you. No matter where you are, in what situation you are, how you are, doesn't matter. You're still fragile, you're still innocent, and then you're still open, or they say you're capable of limitless. The mind is capable of limitless capabilities there. That is engraved in the nature, no?
Sorry, Lama. Are you really saying fragile or you're saying like purity? The mind is pure or is fragile?
It's fragile.
Yeah?
Fragile, yeah. Yeah. I
In
say,
its sense,
I
yeah.
say, I say you have a big nose, what happens?
I see, okay.
It's very fragile. Yeah,
Okay,
I agree.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
take offense. Oh,
I see.
very fragile.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Something wrong with your look, what happens? Very fragile.
Yeah.
Like instant, like this. It reacts very fast without even contemplating. It has that nature in it. Just like a kid, no? It says, "Oh." Yeah, when you're grown up, then you say something, then you contemplate. Okay. You contemplate first. But as a kid, you don't contemplate, react very fast. So that is there. So like I said, this is the nature of it. But that fragility is not something bad. You can utilize it. It's just understanding that the nature is there. Because of the nature there, therefore the reaction is also there. Yeah. So through that means then understanding the whole concept of, okay, like I said, okay, you have that nature in it, and because that nature in it is work, the whole means with integrating is working with the means of the nature itself. Yeah. So that I think quite an important aspect. Then in regards to potential, then I don't think we need to talk much about it, but the potential is really, you look at the enlightened mind, then we talk about the nature of the mind itself, then potential to truly utilize all of this, and just on a daily basis, when you have an experience with a person, you look at your mind, how your mind looks at a person, and how your mind understands a person, and how your mind accepts, or how your mind, what do you say, non-accept, rejects. Yeah, so how your mind accepts and rejects forms, how your mind accepts and rejects people, how your mind objects and rejects, or accepts and rejects environment. This one you can see already. This is utilization, no? So there is, because of that, then there is a great potential in that as also, no? Huh? What happened? Everything okay? Eh?
Yeah, I'm not sure because the doubt I have it is in Buddhism usually they present the nature of mind as clear, luminous, and knowing, no, or cognizer. So this is the nature of mind. What you are describing seems to me the nature of the conventional mind or the obscured mind.
Yeah, we are working with the conventional mind, the obscured mind.
Yeah.
We are not working with the enlightened mind. The enlightened mind doesn't need to work. Already enlightened. We're working with the obscured mind. So no, understand?
Yeah, but the nature of mind, if you say by the book on Buddhism, the nature of mind it is clear, luminous, and cognizer. So
Yeah.
it's pure.
Yes,
so this
yes,
is my
yes,
confusion.
pure.
You know, it's like this is the nature of the mind.
Yeah, but you don't
What-
have to work with that mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on top of that. There
You're
is
utilizing that mind to work with this mind. You need to understand that. Wisdom, no problem. Wisdom is good. Wisdom is beautiful. Wisdom is no problem. But then utilizing wisdom for somewhere there's lack of wisdom. Now that we need to learn to do. What you feel is not the illuminous, natural mind, enlightened mind. This is not what we feel. When I feel anxiety, when I feel depressed, when I feel, angry, hatred, attachment, this is not the mind, not the what is it, illuminous, enlightened mind that we feel.
But then this is not the nature of your mind. This is something that's coming.
Momentarily, yes, that's what we went through. It's momentary, it's changing, and realizing that it's changing, that gives you so much empowerment as well. So it is changing, yes. But until the change happens, this is how we feel. And the reality within the mind is how it is at that point. Experiences are so, this is why we say experiences are so real. When you are angry with someone, how do you feel? What does it feel like? Yeah, when there's lust, what does it feel like? When there is greed, what does it feel like? It feels very real. Do you see even a hint of, no, this is not real? No. When you're in that state of pain, then the pain itself becomes so real. Pain can change, There is, again, Chapter Lama Zoba Rinpoche is teaching, when Rinpoche had a stroke, half of his body not functioning. There's pain there. And normally, if when a person has stroke and half of his body is not functioning, then the capability to contemplate about other sentient beings and enlightenment, that one disappears. Because like I said, the focus is on the pain. Whereas in Rinpoche's nature, completely opposite. Even in that state, then Rinpoche wants to do puja for this person because someone died here. Rinpoche wants to do this, and then if someone asking Rinpoche to do exercise to gain the movement back, then he says, "Well, how is that helping?" the way we had to utilize in order to get Rinpoche to do some exercise is actually doing che. Che is this practice with the Dhammaro. Yeah, it's about renunciation. Yeah, this is che practice, we say. So they bought Rinpoche small mouses and say, Rinpoche, you imagine this sentient being and you try to holding sentient being in your hand with love and compassion. Rinpoche is sitting there going, what's wrong with these guys? Then, oh yeah, a lot of things, they give ball, they give, no, none of those. Then finally we came up with chair. Rinpoche, let's do chair. Oh, even when he cannot, he pushes himself, the effort, the joyous effort, even in the pain, the joyous effort you can see. I think there's a video of that, laughing, Rinpoche laughing. So you start to see there that, so based on that, then you start to see, yes, conventional reality is conventional reality. We are in conventional reality. We deal with conventional reality in a way that works in the conventional reality. Ultimate reality is a state that we are aspiring to achieve. It's not a state that we feel that we are in, or we feel the realistic in it right now. And I said, like I said, there are small sequences of what we say, of realization of ultimate reality here and there. This one happens, but that doesn't mean you live in ultimate reality. You still live in conventional reality. The mind still looks towards conventional means to work with it. So you need to find conventional means to work with it. No. Hey, someone has issues, some kind of disorder, and I say, no, sit down and breathe and meditate on all mother sentient beings and enlightenment. Do you think that will work? It's already dealing with his own thing. He doesn't care about sentient beings. He doesn't care about enlightenment. Well, so there is integration of of that method, and this is why I think the concept of utilization within the Lojong is so empowering, because in Lojong, this is what the Lojong all is about. working with integration in regards to where you are. There's no one lojong. Many lojongs. Make sense?
What's that again?
Or lojong. Lojong is mind training.
My turn.
Lo is mind, jong is training. So lojong is mind training. Many kinds of different mind training, all based on different levels, all based on different issues, all based on different conflicts, all based on different emotions. You know? And lojong is the whole concept of how to, what we say, transform the mind by utilizing wisdom. And the wisdom is actually this. This is the wisdom. It's knowing how to utilize. That's the wisdom. Yeah. Then what else? What else?
No, I'm thinking because if you say to me like the nature of mind, it is mud.
Mud?
Yeah, like dirt and earth. It's like one thing. If you say to me the nature of your mind is a diamond and is covered by mud, this is different, right?
Yes.
And the nature of the things are different.
Yeah.
So even if conventionally what you can see is mud, knowing, even just intellectually, that the nature of that thing is diamond, then is very different. And I think helps if you know what is the ultimate nature of your mind, then
Yeah,
you know what is just the conventional.
we know that the ultimate nature of the mind is clear and knowing. Yeah. So now with that understanding, you say, okay, how do I work with clear and knowing in order to work with my delusions, my anger, my hatred, my obsession, my lust? How do I work with it now? It's clear and knowing, I know, but how does that help me work with all of the momentary afflictions that are coming up? I know that I can reach there because this is the ultimate nature. I know that I can reach there. Okay, I accept that. But at the moment it's not there. I need to reach there. Just knowing that it's ultimately clear in nature is not good enough to reach there. So that's where the lojong comes. That's where the application comes. So application is based, we say, no, within the sutras is mentioned. Application is based on the what appearance. Example is the appearance. Yeah, when they say when the human sees this, then the water, then they see as water. When the god sees this, then sees as nectar. As well as when the hungry ghost or something like this sees this, then sees this as pus and what do you call that? Blood and pus and things like that. So that is in the nature of the imprint. It's not that the mind is clear and knowing, therefore it sees this. It's the imprints, the momentary imprints that implies that. No. So now, if you see pus and blood and all of this, then you need to work with that. Just because the enlightened mind sees nectar does not mean, oh, it's nectar in reality. I mean, does not mean that you go and say, okay, yeah, this is my implementation.
But this is honest doubted, then it's still different, no? The nature of mind and the mind of a Buddha, so the nature of mind, the Rigpa is still different, right?
Yeah, that is different, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm still not talking about the enlightenment mind, the Rigpa, I'm talking about the nature of the mind.
Yeah, the nature of mind, clear and knowing.
Yeah.
And that is only the function.
But it's
only
not
function.
yet the enlightened mind.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's not enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's just a function. The function of the mind is clear and knowing. That's it. Definition is based on function. Yeah, there's no shape to the mind. There's no color to the mind. So the mind is defined based on function.
Clear is a function.
Yeah, clear. Awareness, clear. Like, whatever it sees, there's no there. Function. Appearance. Yeah. Non-diluted appearance. So that is there. but that doesn't define how the difference between how you're going. So just knowing that is clear and knowing how are you going to challenge the obscured mind, momentary obscured mind. So anyway, utilization, I think this is more sensible alliance in utilization is, if you don't know how to eat, you need to learn how to eat. If you don't know how to walk, you need to learn how to walk. Just because you don't know how to eat and you don't know how to walk does not mean you aim for enlightenment. So that is there. Yeah, different levels require different means of dealing. So first thing is dealing with the mind, dealing with the baggage, as I was talking about, dealing with the baggage that is up here. That is the first thing. Then once you deal with that, now the mind is more free to do what it wants to do. It's same thing with life, I think, also. Right now we have so much financial strain, as we call it, right? Financial strain. So financial strain, then you work hard, you make something, then you invest. Now you have something, you have cash flow. That means you have freedom now with your time. Now you can go to the mountains to meditate. Now you, and without worrying about, oh, where is the money coming from? Where is that going? Now you don't have that strain. So now you have freedom. You're traveling the world, meeting your gurus, meeting the yogis, meeting that, searching for Buddha. I don't know. So now you have the freedom to do that. No, so similar like that. When you have that baggage, then it becomes hard to utilize the freedom. Even though the freedom is there, it becomes hard to utilize because, like I said, that heaviness is so real that it feels like it's, pushing you down. Any question online? No? Good.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
I see you.
Oh, I mean, I could come up with a question. I didn't have a question. Okay, I'll come up with a question. um, well, I'm curious about your own personal meditation practice, and then maybe also, obviously, we're all at like different levels of our paths with different levels of baggage. And then how you would relate your own personal meditation with maybe how you would recommend us putting into practice what you've been teaching on like a meditation level to like integrate that into our bodies and into our experiential world. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so first, what is your own personal meditation practice? How do you meditate? And
I am taught from young. The debate system is analytical meditation, so we are taught in the system of analytical meditation. The debate system is based on analytical meditation, so there's a lot of reasoning and logic and sense there. How do you make sense of things? How do you reason? How do you utilize logic in order to contemplate, so that you can give a clearer picture to yourself to understand. So that is the part where I am more familiar with. When it comes to developing single pointedness, all of that, then that is, I'm still a little bit back there. I don't really have that much experience other than when it goes to Hayagriva practices, then there is more concentrating on mantras and concentrating on these things. So that is utilized in a different way. But then for me, I think utilizing experience, I always say all the experience that you have in the past is like, you can use it as baggage or you can use it as knowledge in order to move forward. Right? You go to one place, you learn something new, you go to another place, you learn something new. Now whatever is useful, you combine this and then you utilize this. Whatever is not useful, then you say throw. This is why we talked about whether there is benefit or not. No, the second point was the benefit point. Then I said, oh, contemplate on if there is benefit. If there is benefit in acting and reacting in the way that I am, then definitely do so. But if there is no benefit, then you need to start. The acting and the reaction is very natural, but then still you need to start questioning whether it's beneficial or not.
But it's more like, I think you can like look at something and be like, okay, this is not beneficial. I don't want to keep acting in this pattern or this habit, but to actually like break the pattern and the habit is, I think, really difficult and challenging for like a lot of us. So then
it's difficult. Okay, this is just me saying, but then I would say that it is difficult when you don't have support, especially when you don't have your own support. Then it becomes very difficult. Everything challenging becomes difficult when you don't have support. When you have the right amount of support, right amount of kindness, right amount of compassion, right amount of love, it starts to become a little bit easier to deal with it. It's same thing with I know I keep going back to the child example, but I think it's a really good example. The right amount of care, the right amount of love, and like I said, there are qualities in that: genuinity, sincerity, unconditionality. This is external. So even with a bit, like when you are going through something like this and your friend comes or your partner comes and puts his arm around you and says, hey, it's okay, you already see it's working, it's coming down for yourself. This is external comfort, external necessary, external support, as we say. Now internal support matters as well. This one's something we don't consider. Like I said, internally, in emotion, we define ourselves based on the feelings and the expressions and the destructiveness and whatever it is there. We tend to say, yeah, that's that. So there definitely is that. When you truly learned, I know it sounds a little bit weird especially in the Buddhist practice. Buddhist practice always talking about letting go of the self, letting go of yourself, others, enlightenment, compassion, I know that is there, but then still, utilization of taking care of yourself, and especially looking at your, what do we say, giving the priority of giving yourself the time and the space needed in order to love, time, space, compassion, care needed in order for you to relax. That is also very important. I don't know, yeah? Make sense? So that definitely is a part of it, because then you learn to love, once you have that gentleness to yourself, then you learn to cope with things much better. For me also, I give you an example. For me, when I was a monk, the expectation level was up there. Some wanted me to go into the Ganden Tipa. What is the Ganden tree? It's the throne holder of the Gelug lineage. The expectation was there because I was good in my studies. The expectation was there. I did my Rigju, so then people said, oh, he did his Rigju, now he's going to go to Ganden tree. He has to. One of my greatest expectations for my teacher, my guru, my Tisur Rinpoche was that. Tisur Rinpoche always saying, Ganden tree. Then he used to encourage me, saying, "Ame pula tapumena gandhi or ame pula yede na gandhi tila tapume." It means if you are a son of your mother and you have knowledge, then there's no dapo is what dapo is like. What do you say dapo? Like you own something. What do you say? Owner. Owner. The Ganden tea doesn't have an owner. Anyone can go up there as long as you have the wisdom. So he used to give me that dialogue all the time. So the expectation were way up there. And I know within the Sherpa culture also the expectation is same. And then my reaction to that expectation is again the same. Based on that, then I'm also putting all of that on myself. I didn't let myself breathe. So that was there. And then competitiveness also within the monastery, competitiveness, very high competitiveness. There also the expectation was there. So then when someone says, oh, he's good in his studies, oh, then the pride, ooh, oh yeah. Right? Oh, he's a Lama, he's good in his studies, this, the pride goes up very naturally. Then you make a small mistake in your debate and this, then people say, oh, well, he's supposed to be good in his studies, then so dealing with all of these from an external point of view, now you start to see, well, I'm not looking after myself. I'm not giving myself the time to breathe. I'm putting all the external expectations on myself. I mean, to be very, very, very clear, what matters to me is my development. That matters to me, yes. But does my development depend on you? No. My development has to happen within me. That is clear. So I don't. So one thing you do learn to do with my own experience. One thing I did learn to do is sort of like not depend so much on external expectations. Yeah, after I offered my robes back, I went my own way. I didn't care what people thought. I mean, there was a lot of talks and that and this around the community and all of this, but that doesn't define who I am. Yeah? Neither does that label who I am. Neither that doesn't matter who I am. Doesn't matter. You try to, sensible is that it doesn't matter. What matters is what makes sense to me. That matters, because this is what makes sense to me is the thing that I'm going to apply. I'm going to move forward with. If I believe in a creator God and that makes total sense to me, then whatever other people say, I'm going to go with that. That's my path. Who are the other people to define whether that's right or that's wrong or who? And that goes same to everyone. Your own path also same thing. Who am I to define whether what you are acting is good or bad, or whether you are doing is good or bad? Who am I to do that? Yeah, the only limit to how much I can do for you is how genuine and sincere, unconditional I am. That one matters. Because there's a sense, when you are genuine, sincere and unconditional, the sense of responsibility does come. But unless that, so that I think definitely has a huge impact in regards to personal development. Now, I'm not saying that this development is the right way as well. Some may look at it and say, oh, that's the wrong way. But this is my own personal growth. I feel that I'm a few steps ahead of where I used to be in regards to my own ego, in regards to my own expectation, in regards to fulfilling others' expectations. And there, the panic attacks, not exactly, I don't know how to define panic attack, but there was these kinds of, times where you really got into that space where you stuck. You don't know what to do. You do this is not right. You do this is not right. You do this is not right. It just seems like there's no satisfying. You're doing everything and still there's no satisfaction there. I mean, when it comes to others. So you do get stuck there. Mentally, physically, emotionally, you do get stuck there. But then you start to say, these are external. How much reliance on those is very invalid. Unless you truly matter to me, how much reliance I'm putting on you is kind of invalid. So therefore you need to learn, I think, for me, I've learned to separate that. That doesn't matter to me. As long as I'm, from my point, I say I do my best, I say my best, I give my best. And that's all that matters to me. Whether they like, whether they don't like, whether he likes it, whether she doesn't like it, whether she's judging. Up to her, up to him. whatever you want to react, that comes from your side. There's nothing to do with me. And then through that also, I think one aspect of Guru devotion, this is why I always define there's a huge gap between Guru devotion and Guru obedience. Obedience and devotion, there's a huge gap between them. People sort of like mix these two things together. There's a huge difference. You're devoted to your partner doesn't mean you're obedient to your partner. There's a huge difference there. And I also learned from my side that this is one of the things that I learned in my journey through this in regards to devotion and obedience. Not meaning that I'm so devoted and I have so much good devotion, not that, but whatever develop I do it out of my heart. And that's what matters. No, it's not about competing with you, who has more devotion, who has that. I don't even think that when it comes to spirituality and all of that, I don't think even competition even works there. External thing, competition works a lot. You can gain a lot through competition. But in spirituality, what are you competing with? You can't see the mind. You can't judge the mind. You can't validate the mind. Then what are you competing with? So that also gives you so much freedom to actually relax. No? You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulder. You don't. You really, really don't. Neither do you have to carry the weight of other people on your shoulder. You really don't have to. Unless you are joyfully, doing it. That's a whole different thing. This is Bodhisattva's path, where you are joyfully doing it. That's a whole different thing. But when it comes to personal, I'm not talking about dharma. Okay, we take dharma out of the picture for a moment. Human beings, we suffer. We're in samsara. We have our own integration of how we see things. At that point, this is why I'm saying one of the points when I said innocence. Even from the philosophy perspective. So I don't know, something like that. We need to learn to take breaths. We need to learn to not carry everything on our back. We need to learn to know that you are separate. Even though dependence is there, separation is, we are separate as well. We are not one. I know it sounds a little bit Buddhism, a little bit against Buddhism when we talk about that, but that's how we deal with the mind. Reality is that. That's how I experience dealing with my mind. So now when it comes down to the point, then whatever you do, you are doing with an open heart. There's no expectation. Even if there's judgment, there's no validation of that judgment. Yeah, even if there is criticism, no validation of that criticism. So at one point, after I offer my robes back, it came to the point where, I hear people saying, there's a lot of these things. Then came to a point where one day I sat down and I started thinking about it, and actually it sounded very funny. People over there, in our in our culture or in our society, having their expectations and their beliefs and their hopes and all of that. And then because their expectation was unfulfilled, then they're throwing all the bag on me. That's kind of funny, no? It's their responsibility. If I'm able to help with your responsibility, yeah, I will. But there's limitation. That's why I said the limitation capability matter a lot. There's limitations capability in every person. Unless you are a Buddha, then you become limitless. You open the door to limitless potential. So even that the limitless potential is there, then whether you're able to apply that limitless potential or not, that is on the work process, no? Work in process. You can't walk on the road that is work in process. You need to let it finish. Let the roller roll and the whatever to the ground to dry before you actually can walk on it. The exact same thing. Yeah, so something like that, I think. For me, because more on the side of logics, philosophy, therefore I'm more in tune with that method. And this one, now I look back, then I learned not just from philosophy but from what we say, a living proof. So with my gurus, I regard Gade Tiso Rinpoche as my philosophy teacher. When it comes to wisdom and all of that, he is limitless and he taught me a lot. But then when it came to actual proof, then is Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Lama Zopa Rinpoche and me, we hardly talked much. I mean, we did talk, but Rinpoche was never too fond of talking with me in some ways. There was no, I mean, I served him, I helped him here, I helped him there, and then that, and listened to his teaching, but when it came to communication, there wasn't that much of it. But then for me, Rinpoche is such an amazing example. Just by being there, the qualities that I see him, that itself, you start to see, it's possible. Then His Holiness, I always say, for me, the true what we say, the true form of groundedness, and the true form of what we say, flexibility. That's where I see His Holiness. Even though we consider him as a Buddha, and I listen to his teaching, he always say, I'm just a humble, what do we say, normal monk. Yeah, then even if he sits on the throne, big throne, he tells jokes, he laughs, he does that, he does this. And then when it comes to integration with other religion, so his arms are so wide. He embraces anyone, everyone. There's no, oh, you are like that, oh, no, I don't want this, oh, I want this. There's no separation there. So I mean, this is my way of saying, I learned from different things in that way. Just like, and when it comes to Lama Zopa, then even enemies in Lama Zopa, I still have problem with that. But then when it comes to Lama Zopa, then the wisdom and the level of the practice is so high that even enemies, now you are learning from them as well. For me, I rely on my gurus. These are the 3 gurus that I learned from. So I think practical application, when it goes too deep into Dharma, then practical application becomes a little bit hard, just like you said. Yeah? Easier said than done. But then, if you look at through that perspective, I think now you start to see, I can work with that. That's more comfortable, that's more flexible. And that you need to have. If you have a rigid path, like a strong, this is the only way, if you have that kind of rigid mindset, then then everything is hard. Nothing is easy. Yeah, we say, in order to drink a water, if you need to pour the water through 10 glasses in order to drink, then it gets hard, no? So every time you're drinking, you need to pour through 10 glasses and then drink. This is very rigid, no? I say exact 10. I need to pour my water through 10 glasses before I can drink. That's going to be very hard. Not easy. So rigidness is important, yes, but there's importance at points. When your mind is ready, then the importance can be applied. But until then, you need that flexibility also.
Good stuff.
Thank
Thank you. Keep him talking.
Okay, very good.
You
Finish. What else? What else? What else is there? What else you want to talk about?
Anything you want to share?
Yeah, like that. Yes, yes.
Is it okay if it's, well, no, it's related. Do you have any, because oh, I don't like this thing. Okay, so I feel like I gathered tried to absorb a lot of what you said about like nurturing and loving yourself with sincerity and yeah, unconditional love and compassion. Do you have any recommendations or insights on how to, I don't know, have a more loving and compassionate, harmonious, like relationship, romantic relationship specifically with, yeah, I feel like sometimes I don't know, sometimes I feel like some of the hardest people to like really practice, like, and they should be one of the easiest, but like I have some of the most triggers come up with in my romantic relationships and then with my family, and I feel like that could apply to a lot of people, right? So I really like, yeah, how to just practice that in a relationship, because of course I'd love to be able to look at all beings as my mother or look at all beings with so much love, but honestly sometimes it's so much easier to have love and compassion for a random stranger than your partner who you see day in and day out. You know what I mean? Sorry, Jacob, I love you. So like, and I feel like they're the people that, like, when you're practicing this, they like deserve like the most love and compassion sometimes, because they've really stuck through and been there to support a lot of, like, they see a lot more of you than other people. But yeah, I don't know. So any insights, example stories with you and your wife?
Let's go.
I think one important aspect is how much you know. Yeah, like I said, generally nowadays you start to see that external attraction becomes one thing, then that external attraction leads from one thing to another without the internal understanding. So to get to know, so this is very closely with, I think, the concept of guru devotion also. Devotion doesn't arise from attraction. Attraction is just momentary thing, amazement. That is attraction. Devotion arises from truly knowing. So I think one thing important is that you need to give time in order to understand. Yeah, because like I said, you have your limitations, you have your what do we say, abilities, limitations in regard to what you can accept and what you cannot accept. But if you don't know what to accept and what you cannot accept, like if let's say you have a fault in your life, and I know that kind of fault I cannot handle, but then because I don't know you so well, I don't know you have that fault. Now coming, yeah. Then you don't know you have that fault, or I don't know you have that fault. Then after a certain period of time, then you feel comfortable enough to open that fault. Then now my reaction is, I can't deal with this. That's what happens, no?
Yeah.
You see, in many cases, that's what happens. So one important aspect in all of this is honesty. There has to be a line connection in honesty. But that doesn't mean go around telling everyone what everything about you. I mean, even when it comes to revealing honesty, there has to be the right time to reveal the honesty. So these things are there. Then again, another thing that generally matters is, of course, consideration. Expectation is one part, then consideration is exact opposite part of that. We have expectation, yes, but with expectation there also has to be consideration. This is where what we say, the playing field gets leveled, as we say, right? The leveled playing field, as they say. So leveling the playing field is in regards to not just working with the expectation, but also working with that. So acceptance is another thing again, and then with acceptance then comes the practice again, the 10 paramitas, the same exact practice of the 10 paramitas. So you need to put effort. Yeah, effortless love lasting forever is never that doesn't happen. Yeah, if you look at people who have long been together for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, you start to see that there's effort from both sides actually. It's not effortless. Yeah.
Or one.
Yeah, or
Sometimes.
yeah, sometimes one-sided, sometimes from both, but mostly from one-sided. Mostly there is a little bit of an issue. One-sided comes generally one-sided one what is it, generally end up a little bit of an issue, unless, like I said, genuine, sincere, unconditional, then it's totally different. But like I said, when it's relationship love, then genuine, sincere, unconditional, a little bit hard. When it's parents, then genuine, sincere, unconditional, a little bit easier. So now here, based on the relationship, then changes. If it's partner, genuine, sincere, unconditional, a little bit hard. There it has, like I said, there has to be a both party effort. But like I say, your own child, your own dog, your own loved ones, your own friends, then there can be genuine, sincere, unconditional application that truly empowers the relationship. So that is there. So even in dharma, when you talk about guru devotion, this is one of the more important aspects of developing. And within that, then, like I always say, is the quality that you are looking for. It's the quality that has to pull you in, not the good words, not the magic, what is it, the magicness of it, none of those. It's the qualities that you see, that you are impressed, that admiration grows. That's where you have to really focus. And that quality has nothing to do with external look and external behavior and all of that. It has everything to do with the internal quality. So that, I think, sort of like the key point in some sense. Yeah, make sense? Yeah, like that. Yeah, I think good. Yeah, everyone enjoy?
Excellent.
Yeah, good, okay.
Thank you
So I think, yeah, most important, I always say, if you are a practitioner, then you train your mind. I mean, you work with your mind. Then once you have worked with your mind, then you train your mind. Is dharma. So you train your mind to go on to the dharma. Then yeah. Then the dharma becomes your path. Then lamla bhajamya. Then on the path, then no obstacles. So this strong dedication, yeah. Whether it be the path to enlightenment, whether the path is to path to bodhicitta, whether the path is to path self-liberation, whatever it may be, these are the three aspects of dedication. So that is one thing. Then, like I said, consistency in regards to what makes sense to you. Yeah, recognition, applying recognition and contemplating on what makes sense to you is one of the ways to truly arise what we say, conviction. And through conviction, then action starts to happen. So to arise conviction, there has to be consistency, especially in regards things that don't make sense, leave it aside. But when there are things that make sense, that really click to you, that awaken your heart, that gives you that, yes, that what we say, that what do you call that that sense of sense of liberation sort of thing. Then when that is there, then you need to hold on to it. This can be a very, very useful aspect to utilize. Then in general, it's one step at a time. Don't rush. Everything happens step at a time. You reach, if you walk from here to Bodha, you reach Bodha one step at a time. You don't reach there with only one step. So every step counts. Take it easy. Then in regards to that, then I think development, utilize your wisdom in order to see development in you. So yesterday, today, 1 month ago, today, 1 year ago, today, you look at yourself, you already start to see changes. So that is something that you need to focus on, that you start to utilize as well. That okay, small changes matter, and this is what you are aiming for, momentary changes in development. So even as His Holiness says, no, even if you cannot, if you cannot help someone, at least do not harm them. This is the concept of, it's not the bodhicitta concept, but it's the path to developing bodhicitta, right? So that is definitely there. So you protect yourself, you don't harm. At least if you cannot, mother sentient beings, compassion, if you cannot, at least strain away from harming them. So this is a small changes, in us. So utilizing our practice in order to see these changes within ourselves, I think is an important aspect. So with that, I think we finished 2 days. I hope you enjoy me blabbering on and on and on. But then, something like that. Then, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lama.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Then the world is small, so I'm sure we will keep crossing our paths here and there and everywhere.